Pulls is over. Right, I'm gonna try 6-star. Spiral Abyss one more time. I'll spend only an hour. Tops. Hello, Junko from Toho 615. Hello, Raiden Shogun from Genshin Impact. And the two aren't similar at all. I don't know that many characters like Junko.
This video is maximum cope, but I hope that I'm right. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. We've already beaten this dead horse for 4 weeks. Isn't it time to stop talking about Dia? Well, the answer is no, because the horse isn't actually dead yet. We've only gotten halfway through its HP. These things take time with Dia. It's understandable that people don't like the negativity surrounding Dia because it can feel pretty toxic, and people just want to play their casual game without being constantly reminded that their favorite character was absolutely gutted. But today, I actually achieved a new level of Hopium never before thought possible. I truly believe Dia could see buffs in the future, and it all has to do with Hoyo's history, with new characters, mechanics, and past character changes. At the birth of every Genshin Impact account, every player is given a choice. You can either get all of the characters you want, or you can pay your rent. Obviously, you can switch between the two, but either way, you're walking away with a gambling addiction. If you choose to spend money on characters in Genshin, it's basically expected that they should function at a basic level. Many players argue that Dia is actually solid and functional, which might be true if you play with your eyes closed. But most people that know about good DPS and support characters probably agree that Dia was not up to par with other 5 stars, or 4 stars. Or NPCs. It's actually pretty similar to the Zhongli situation way back in version 1.1. When Zhongli initially released, while many players felt his power level was okay, this was around the time when people started to actually gauge character power level a bit more accurately. Not insanely accurate, not to the point we have now, but just a tiny bit. And they found that Zhongli was just not a strong character in his release state. For example, he could be staggered when he put his shield up, so it was possible you just wouldn't be able to use him well in the first place. That's not to mention that his personal damage was low, and his shield was comparable to Diona's at C0. Obviously, players didn't really care for that. The CN player base was incredibly vocal about it, and after what seemed like 50 years, we got patch 1.3, which gave Zhongli some buffs. Now, granted, that was also an attempt to make the Geo better, but we all know how that's working out. Now, all of this to say, Hoyoverse has buffed characters before. Now, if you're not on board with my copium yet, you might be thinking that Zhongli was a one-time thing, which is really close to true. Because the next change we saw to a character wasn't for over a year. Yae Miko released in version 2.5 and also with a ton of backlash. Why? Honestly, I think people just wanted her to be an on-field character and she doesn't really feel that exciting to play. Yae's turret targeting
she sucks at being an on-field character,
which makes sense
but
if you
also
consider
sucks
that
at
that's
being an
literally her
off-field
only
character.
job. They actually made an attempt to buff her targeting in the following patch. Granted, you could consider it more of a fix than a buff, but it was a character change post-release that Hoyoverse was open to. The player base didn't really like the new targeting because it nerfed her Constellation 2, it also made her arguably worse after testing, and Hoyo didn't follow through with the changes. But the bottom line is that they did listen to feedback about the character. Now, why am I bringing this all up? Well, recently, there was a Reddit thread that went up featuring a whole bunch of customer support responses from Hoyoverse regarding Dia. Things ranging from questions about her elemental burst being cancelled on jump,
I'm pretty
to
sure
problems
Noelle
with
can
her
beat
signature
those up
weapon
in
and
just 2
Constellation's
hits,
misalignment.
which
A
is
few
wacky.
of these CS responses in particular stick out to me. One states explicitly that her auto-targeting is
Teamwork is dream!
Oh, so sorry.
Witness the power.
And yet the hundreds of responses that players have received were no indication. This response here mentioning Zhongli's changes as a reference for time frame shows that the team is actively aware of the issues that Dia faces and specifically mentions that these things take time. time, which is entirely true. My theory is that between time off for Chinese New Year and beta testing, it's possible that Dia just didn't have enough time to be fully baked and fleshed out, and it certainly wouldn't be a good idea to instantly change
right.
something about the character
I wanna
that
maximize
could
the
end up
crystal
making
flash I
them
get
too
here.
powerful.
Time
Last
to get
minute
rid of
number
it.
adjustments have been done before to other characters, and while I can't mention who specifically without getting struck down for league-related content, some characters ended up being incredibly strong and meta-defining. I believe this is why Hoyoverse wants to undershoot character power level rather than overshoot, because with Spiral Abyss being the only hard content in the entire game, if players can complete it too easily, there would be no challenge left, so they'd rather new characters be worse than too strong. In the case of the newer characters, as a company, it makes sense to buff something someone paid for over nerfing it afterwards. Imagine if Kazuha had his support abilities nerfed like his cooldown or elemental damage share. People would absolutely lose their minds. But if Kazuha had
that worked
the
well.
elemental damage share at launch and people said that he was just worse Sucrose and people were all up in arms about it and stuff, it's possible they could have added that later, and that would look a lot better on the company than dialing it back from overpowered. If you buffed Dia after a bad release, that'd end up looking better than overshooting her power level to begin with and taking a step back. It would make a lot less people upset, and I believe that is why the company policy is to release characters at a weaker state, just to be on the safe side. Now, as mentioned in that response, comparing Dia to Zhongli's situation, it's possible they are looking into Dia fixes and buffs, and that they will come down the line in a couple of patches. Of course, this is all just hopes and dreams at this point. I don't know that we'll ever wake up from the Dia Samsara, but it is a possibility, and I'm hopeful in Dia's case over any other character because she genuinely was released in a worse state than the worst 4 stars in the game, and that in itself is problematic. Also, while we're on the topic of CS responses, I also wanted to address one specific response that I'm like 99% sure is fake. This response made its rounds in the community and caused quite a lot of trouble. A response asking players not to jump in Dia's burst seems kind of provocative and just unprofessional. You can say whatever you want about Hoyoverse as a company, but all of their past CS responses have been incredibly professional looking, minus, some cute little emoji faces, but, you could argue that it's more professional maybe in this space. All of Hoyoverse's CS responses are typically friendly looking, professional, and well handled. And as a company, it makes more sense to say something like, we're exploring this issue, or we'll relay your feedback to the team, rather than just telling someone how to play the game, while also having typos where jump should be. If I had to guess, this one is created by someone in the community looking around stuff, which it did end up doing. There's a lot of people very upset about it. Now, don't get me wrong, from a computer science and coding standpoint, the design choice to cancel first game jump almost has to be intentional, but that response in particular looks provocative and unprofessional to me, and honestly, I just think it's fake. That said, all of these CS responses could be fake. It's possible nobody is looking into VFX buffs at all. It's possible Dia will just sink and will never have her at an acceptable power level as a support for her damage. But it does look to me, at the very least, like we can expect some things. Hoyoverse really hates lucky players.
Gotcha.
After seeing those responses from
Here comes the catch.
patches down the line,
My apologies. I see everything. Quietly now. This way through.
Feel free to join me or go right in the Thanks for watching. I love you, Wallace. I love you too, Morrison.
What the hell is this? Oh, Shuckle for April Fool's Law. Dog of Wisdom?
Game's up. Fun's over. Whirling snow! Embrace the ice! Yeah! Ha!
Over half a decade and 2 generations ago, we made a video on Shuckle, which we are now updating for the modern day in light of the new information that has been gleaned about this fungal turtle bug. Those who played Gold, Silver, and Crystal, or Heart Gold and Soul Silver, will remember their unusual introduction to this Pokemon. In a house near the gym in Cedarwood City lived a Pokemaniac who had previously been visited by a rival who had bullied him into giving up an unspecified Pokemon. Verify your Pokemon.
Committed to memory. The Temple of Wisdom.
Busted.
Yeah. Ha. Ha. So rude. My apologies. This may hurt a little.
Take it easy. Here comes the catch.
Take flight.
Wasn't weak to Earthquake or Fire Blast, so it could theoretically answer Curse Snorlax quite well with its utterly monstrous defensive stat. This would also let it absorb Explosion easily. Shuckle's offensive capabilities were non-existent, so it took stalling to an extreme. It was its Toxic Stall, but it would also PP stall opponents with the massive 64 PP of Defense Curl, the same move that let it force Snorlax's attempts to boost with Curse. Shuckle also messed with the opponent further with another high PP move, Flash. An accuracy lowering effect tended to provoke switches, giving Shuckle a way of abusing the spikes if you paired with Nostalgia. Sure, this was a bit specific, as there's no way you'd ever
Are
use Shuckle
Committed to memory.
Gotcha. Busted. Quietly now.
Nidoking or Gengar to fish for freezes, Steelix to set up Curse, Vaporeon to set up Growth, unperturbed by Toxic due to rest, which also tended to be the case for Zapdos or Snorlax trying to recover their own health. Basically, Shuckle did very little other than help help win games that were probably winnable in other terms. Its walling and defensive ability was not that
Everyone hold hands.
What the heck?
Gotcha. I'm out of here. My apologies.
If either was the case, that team had bigger problems than just Shuckle. Shuckle was an intriguing case on paper, but not worth much in practice. Shuckle's unmatched passivity meant it was similarly exploitable and rarely useful in UU, but it found a solid place for itself in NU. It was one of the few Pokemon capable of taking on offensive threats that were otherwise immensely difficult to withstand, like Tier King Xatu as well as Stantler, Fearow, and Weezing. Thanks to the Tier's incredibly low power level, Shuckle's passivity wasn't as exploitable and it could potentially even sweep late game against teams no longer packing Water Stab. First, it used defensive curl to power up rollout, and then it commit to the rollout sweep. Spikes or Pineco helped it to do damage when forcing out the Pokemon at wall before it was ready to commit to the sweep. Shuckle could also go for an all-out support set with Encore and Sleep Talk, which expanded its
Add Astra.
so Shuckle's needs was fairly limited, as it only fit on truly bulky teams willing to play a long game, but it was a legitimate choice in GSC and U. With the pool of offensive capabilities introduced by Generation 3, it became more imperative than ever for defensive Pokemon to actually hit back at the Pokemon they were answering, lest they get overwhelmed by their boosting and or repeated hits. As such, Shuckle was completely worthless, even all the way down in NU. Then one day, Shuckle was kidnapped and taken into outer space by a rogue group of astronauts that were rebelling against their original crew. They believed their mission to find intelligent life to be a useless one, without some extra power to defend against a potentially hostile organism. Though their sentiment was not without merit, those rogue astronauts were also under the impression that Shuckle contained within the shell powers from a higher place of existence, which they could harness potentially not just for self-defense, but even for themselves.
Add Astra.
After that, they accidentally
Thank you for
stumbled into a wormhole, finding themselves in another dimension where they were accosted by hostile beings at every corner, and thus Shuckle began his battle against terrifying cosmic beings beyond human comprehension. Indeed, the
Now, I'm gonna
take it easy.
went insane mere moments after witnessing these drenched in impossible colors, making impossible sounds and comprised of impossible matter. But Shuckle did not share their limitations and began to conquer them with an absurd ease. It reveled in this new mode of existence, because why toil away not getting used in general? For the indignity of pretending it was worth anything which Shuckle but it also received a stealth rock weakness, getting locked in a chance but it received
Whirling snow.
Should I save this money or invest it?
And earned for itself the name of Shuckle, Grand Emperor of the Cosmic Vortex. Well, that's how it was translated anyway. The sound of the very language from which it originates would drive you to madness, so we better not risk it. Anyway, Shuckle soon realized that there were no more worlds left to conquer in this dimension, and it heard that Pokemon XY were being released soon, so it decided to return to Earth. During the 2012 and the 2013 VGC seasons, Shuckle would devote a piece of its ever-expanding consciousness, sufficient to travel and exist as its own entity, to return to Earth and see if it could achieve anything. The answer was a resounding no. If you ever wanted to be consistent, you stayed away from Shuckle. Its only purpose was to try and catch the opponent off guard with levels of cheese potentially lethal for the lactose intolerant. Its main purpose was to use Guard Split to transform its teammate Chansey into an unbreakable, bulky behemoth, allowing its user to then stall the timer and win. However, this was notoriously unreliable, as Guard Split got redirected by Follow Me, disrupted by Fake Out, and had a million other problems. Such teams either caught an unsuspecting, inexperienced player off guard, or got blown out by most men with a clue. Suffice to say,
This is
before
Mono
seeing
Pyro who
what
down.
they were seeing, they were unceremoniously destroyed. The other strategy Shuckle could attempt to pull off was to use its contrary ability alongside
Time quietly now. Gotcha. Game's up. Fun's over.
I'll protect us. Animal test 6308.
Busted.
With power creep, offensive threats are being answered by dedicated walls less and less, and were instead revenge killed, counterattacked, or out offense by faster opposing threats. Webs could completely nullify that. Plus, even dedicated walls liked being faster than some threats. Mega Venusaur reveled in outspeeding through Wild, for example. This led hyper offense teams a massive new degree of potential, and Shuckle was eyed with particular interest because it set up rocks as well as webs, which was huge to allow such teams to pile on as many threats as possible, rather than having 2 spots dedicated to hazards on the team. The only other Pokemon that could set up both rocks and webs was Spherical. However, neither OU or UU were much affected by webs early in XY. The clock was everywhere.
Things are about to get dicey. Quietly now. Gotcha.
Let's dance. Cross over. Go. Stand clear.
Busted.
Rocks or webs. And once the game progressed past the first few turns, it would be similarly tough for it to come back in and set up the second one. Whichever it chose, its team would suffer for it. Plus, in OU, Bisharp would actually punish its speed being dropped thanks to Defiant.
Wacky.
And actually relish its speed being lowered, since that let it
Animal damage bonus to Gilded Dreams might actually be good.
like Thunderous, Latios, both forms of Landers, and Mega Charizard Y were unaffected by webs. As such, the strategy was largely overlooked until Shuckle hit Aryu, where the tier's far lower power level did allow it to reliably set up both rocks and webs consistently, the effects of which were utterly devastating. The tier wasn't only ill-equipped to prevent its setup, it was ill-equipped to counter
Enhanced animal module.
Game's up. Time's over.
and Shuckle's access to
Gee, this isn't good. Fire, pants on fire. Absorption test. Stand clear.
Quietly now.
enable the offensive rest of the tier to ridiculous game-breaking degrees, and as such, Shuckle found itself banned from X and Y Aryu. This was already a massive improvement over its previous generation, but it certainly didn't stop there. Even before Aryu existed, Shuckle had established itself a niche for itself in Ubers of all tiers. The concept of offensive threats being tougher to handle when you could no longer outspeed them was particularly applicable to the metagame with the strongest Pokemon around, and a massive portion of the tier was affected by webs. Such rewards meant one could justify playing the risky game that was maneuvering Shuckle against common opposing beats like Deoxys speed. However, with teammate support, Shuckle found itself surprisingly consistent.
Things are about to get dicey. Busted. Quietly now.
Like this shit. Animal test 6308. Absorption test. Animal hypostasis. Animal test 6308.
Gotcha. Busted.
All three forms of Mewtwo could enjoy the effects of webs, which removed the choice Scarfer's ability to check them. Webs even had solid defensive applications. By limiting Xerneas to a +1 speed after a Geomancy boost, it could actually be revenge killed by choice card Genesect. Sticky Web was a high-risk, high-reward playstyle, and Shuckle was a significant part of this. Sadly, Sticky Web significantly fell out of favor with the arrival of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. The re-addition of the Soul Duality to us meant that the best, most popular debuggers in the tier were both fast and hovered above Sticky Web, as opposed to XY. The addition of Mega Salamence.
Here comes the catch.
Absorption test.
Quietly now.
Rocket technique. Cross over.
Even Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, it reared its head again. The metagame had become well known for how unreliable and exploitable its hazard removing options were. It's mostly tended to manifest in the form of balanced spike teams. But Sticky Web, anchored by Shuckle, took the concept in a much more hyper-offensive direction and generally provided a significant rejuvenation for fast-paced teams in general. Even its greatest nemesis, Mega Diancie, and its magic bounce could be worked around a Shuckle-held red card. Diancie would attack, red card would activate, Diancie would be forced down, and the hazard would go up. Its effort to set webs was a worthwhile one, as with its support, offensive source as Mega Scizor became one of the most terrifying Pokemon in the tier. Would-be monsters like Keldeo and Heatran couldn't hope to check it anymore. And it was far from being the only threat, too, as Bisharp became similarly terrifying. So did Belly Drummer's Numero. Tail Glow of Manaphy was so utterly ridiculous with web support, some considered it outright broken. All of these Pokemon were at least strong in their own right pre-webs, but Thunderous Therian also saw a significant burst in popularity, with the speed lowering of its opponents allowing it to make full use of the significantly higher special attack it boasted over its incarnate form. Gengar and even Phase Hoopa saw used to help Shuckle play around Exejo's Rapid Spin, but were also excellent web-supported threats in their own right. Stacking such obscene offensive pressure was absolutely ridiculous for balanced teams to deal with, while opposing offensive teams were slowed down and ruined by the speed drop. At first, Webs was diminished as gimmicky cheese, but it soon proved that false, as it simply won too consistently for that to be the case, and eventually it was a different outcry. A significant portion of the player base genuinely believed Webs to be broken and demanded action to be taken against it. This was all of Shuckle's doing too. It was always the web setter, as its bulk helped to get Roxas well with consistency. Then just as instantly Webs had exploded onto the scene, it disappeared. It had been entirely superseded by a new style of hyper offense, that of dual screens, which similarly exploded onto the scene and took the metagame by storm. And it outclassed Webs entirely, as it was far easier to reliably set up both screens with something as fast as superior, thus enabling monstrous threats like Volcarona and making Manaphy even more threatening, because screens let it beat faster Pokemon that be unaffected by Sticky Web. No more getting checked by Specs Latios, for example. Superior's newfound popularity also killed Sticky Web so much so that it was a thorn in the side of web teams by itself. Its contrary ability meant that it would actually get a speed boost from Sticky Web. Nevertheless, Webs had a strong run, capping off a breakout generation for Shuckle, a ban from Aryu, a solid stint in Ubers, and for a brief time, believed to be enabling a broken playstyle in OU. And just like that, Shuckle disappeared again in Generation 7. Hazard removal options improved significantly, especially in Ultra Sun and Moon, when absolutely everything got defogged. So maintaining the hazard was much harder, making dedicating a Pokemon just to set it up and immediately be KO'd that much riskier. And there were even new Sticky Web users, Araquanid and Rabambi, while Slurpuff gained the move as well. These were actually genuinely good Pokemon in their own right, in addition to setting webs, meaning it didn't matter nearly as
I'm
much
wondering if I should use Raiden.
rocks, or if they weren't able to maintain the hazard at all costs. There was no way Shuckle was going to compete with them, so from OU through RU, it didn't stand a chance. And with how ridiculously popular Magic Bounce Salty was in NU, it was never going to be worthwhile to use Shuckle there either. And even all the way down in PU, it just wasn't a reliable strategy. Not only was maintaining the hazard a complete nightmare, the benefits weren't quite there either, with plenty of the tier's popular Pokemon either already being slow or ignoring webs. The tier's offensive threats didn't necessarily gel with webs too well, but they also didn't need it either. As such, Shuckle fell to untiered in Generation 7.
In the first half, we're fighting two waves of enemies, starting with the Ruin Guard. This fight will be mostly straightforward for most players, and it's more about making sure you can output enough DPS to clear this fight quickly. One thing worth mentioning is that it does have this Geo Aura, which periodically creates these Geo Waves. The damage from these waves can creep up on you unexpectedly, so do try to keep an eye out for them. If you're using Venom on this side, which I do recommend, they usually aren't a huge problem. For the second wave, we're fighting two Cryo Lava Trolls, and it's because of these guys that I recommend using a Pyrocentric team for this half. National variants, a Hu Tao team. The second half is what most of you are probably here for, and we're fighting the one and only Weenut. The first step to cracking this Weenut is to get familiar with its moveset and attack pattern, so let's go over that first. For its first attack, it'll use this thrusting attack where it shoots straight out of the ground, or this flyby attack where it shoots a bunch of Anemo missiles at you. The thrusting attack is usually the easier one to deal with because it happens right where you're standing and makes it easy for you to get some initial damage in. As far as I can tell, it's completely random which one it opens with, at least based on the runs that I've done so far, so unfortunately there is already some RNG involved in this fight. For its second attack, it'll briefly breach the surface in one of the 4 quadrants of the arena that you're standing closest to. In my experience, these breaching attacks are usually good opportunities to get some damage in because they happen relatively close to where you are. For its third attack, it uses this charge-up laser attack, and this one happens in the opposite quadrant of the arena where you're currently standing. So after its breach attack, be prepared to run immediately to the other side of the arena. For its fourth attack, it again breaches the surface close to where you are, so this is another opportunity to get some damage in. for its fifth and final attack, it'll enter its floating state, where it slowly circles the arena and summons these bubbles over time. If you're able to pop at least 2 of these bubbles using Pyro, Cryo, Hydro, or Electro damage, it'll bring the boss down and give you about a 10-second window to deal damage. After it gets up from this vulnerability phase, it repeats these 5 attacks one more time. I want to emphasize the importance of learning not only the order of these attacks, but also the locations of where each one happens. The first time you fight this boss, it's going to feel very frantic and random where the boss pops up. But once you learn this attack pattern and these locations, you'll be able to anticipate approximately where it'll pop up next, and make this fight go a lot more smoothly. Next, if we look at the timing of these attacks, we'll find that they happen roughly 10 seconds apart from each other. And if we include the 10-second vulnerability window of its 5th attack, it means this boss has an attack cycle that follows roughly a 1-minute rotation. Since most of our damage is likely going to be dealt at the end of each of these rotations during that vulnerability window, it's really important to get at least 2 full minutes for this fight. There is a bit of a waiting time at the beginning of each rotation, so if we account for that overhead, 2 minutes and 10 seconds is kind of the golden time that we're aiming for in this half. And this is why I recommended finishing the first half with at least 9-10 remaining on the clock. Ideally, we want to take off about 50% of its HP with each of these 1-minute rotations, so if you're able to get its HP down to about half by the end of its first vulnerability window, that's a good indication that you're on pace for a 3-star clear. Knowing these timings also gives us a good idea of when we should be using our big cooldowns. For most teams, you'll want to use your key bursts right as the boss is going down for its vulnerability window, which is about 50 seconds into its 1-minute rotation. Given that most teams have a 20-second rotation, based on the cooldown of most major bursts, working backwards from this 50-second mark, that means we can also use our bursts at the 30 and 10-second marks of the boss's rotation.
That's what they
And
say
these timings
anyway.
also happen to be
Knowing my
right
luck,
around when the
the
boss
opposite
uses
is
those
probably
breaching
true for
attacks,
me.
which is another reason why I tend to deal most of my damage during those windows. So knowing the boss's attack timings and combining them with the cadence of our own rotations gives us a clear timeline for when we should be dealing most of our
Where did that
damage.
come from?
Now, when we talk about dealing damage at these specific windows, we need to account for the setup that's required to ramp up our damage. If we start our rotation as the boss is breaching the surface, it's already too late, because by the time we get to our main damage dealer, the boss is almost back underground. Instead, we need to make sure we start our rotation about 6 or 7 seconds before we actually want to deal damage, so that when that time comes, everything is already set up and we can
No one's
maximize
joined
the
me
time
on an
we spend
adventure in
actually
ages.
dealing damage
Come
while
on,
the boss is
let's
vulnerable.
go.
This also means that abilities that last for a long time and can deal damage well after they've been cast are really
Benny's
effective here.
Adventure
Things like
Chain,
Shincho and
assemble!
Yahan's Burst are both good examples of this. The next thing I want to talk about is how tanky this boss is. The Spiral Abyss version of this boss is modified from the original Overworld version, and its resistances have been increased from 25% all-res to 55% all-res. For reference, most enemies have 10 to 15% all-res, and just a few bosses have about 20 to 25% all-res. So 55% is an absurdly high amount. If you notice that your Hyper Blooms or
Let's go
other
find
big
some
sources
treasure.
of damage aren't hitting as hard as they usually do, it's not just you, the boss actually is a lot tankier than most other enemies. But what this also means is that resistance debuffs like the effects of VV and Deepwood are really valuable and basically necessary in this
Adventure
fight.
Chain,
You deal almost
assemble!
2 times as much damage when VV is applied on the boss, so it's really important to maintain uptime on that debuff. The other place where res is relevant in this fight is during its vulnerability window. The boss loses 45% res to the element that was used to pop the bubbles during its floating state. What this means is that you want to make sure to pop the bubbles using an element that matches whatever your main source of damage is. If you're using a team that uses VV, one way to do this very naturally is to apply your primary element on the boss, and then follow up with an Anemo attack to trigger a swirl reaction with that element. This swirl reaction is basically pulling double duty, because it triggers the VV effect to decrease the res of the element that you swirled, and that swirl damage is also being used to pop the bubbles, so the boss's res to that element also
Good things
drops by
come to
another
those who don't
45%.
wait around.
And
That's what
speaking
they
of popping
say
bubbles,
anyway.
I found that it's
Knowing
usually
my luck,
easiest to pop
the
them
opposite
using
is
a
probably
big
true
AoE
for me.
attack while the boss is kind of dipping down near the front of the arena. Most Anemo attacks will work here, and if you're using a Hyper Bloom team, Kuki's Burst also works very nicely to achieve this.
Oh, ow! It's did that come from?
With that, I think we've covered most of the combat-related and mechanical tips I have for this boss, so let's talk about team comps next, starting with Hyper Blue. Hyper Blue is always a great choice for dealing high single-target damage, of course, and a nice little bonus is that sometimes the Hyper Blue missiles will actually follow the boss into its next attack, so it does a good job of working around these relatively short vulnerability windows.
No one's joined me on an adventure in ages. Come on,
but I
let's
personally
go.
found it to be very difficult. The uptime on all of your bursts and skills have to be really on point to output enough DPS, and if you mistime any of your cooldowns, you likely won't have enough Dendro Force to deal any meaningful damage. If you have Nagina, she really helps to lower the difficulty of this fight, so I would definitely
Adventure
prioritize
team,
putting her on this half.
assemble!
Because her skill lasts for so long and just deals continuous Dendro damage throughout the entire fight, she really relieves the burden of having to time your attacks correctly and managing your cooldowns. Ayaka team comps also do pretty well here because her burst deals a lot of damage in a relatively short 5 to 6 second window, which is perfect for these short vulnerability windows each time the boss pops up. Obviously, we won't be able to use our burst every time it comes up, but as we learned earlier in the video, its attacks have roughly a 10-second frequency. Ayaka's burst has a 20-second cooldown, so you can ideally use it every other time it pops up. You can run a standard Mona variation of this team, and a mono cryo variation also works quite well. Since we will be popping those bubbles with cryo damage, that means the boss's cryo res will be decreased during its stun phase, so piling on more cryo damage allows us to make the most of that debuff. One important thing to note if you are using an Ayaka team here, for some reason, whenever I use Ayaka in this fight, the boss tends to skip its 4th attack in its rotation, which is that second breach attack. So after its laser attack, it goes straight into its floating state. What this means is that we have to shift our attack timings a little bit. Since we want to use Ayaka's burst during the stun phase of the floating state, working 20 seconds back from that, we want to use one burst during its laser attack, and then another one during its very first opening attack. So far, I've only seen it skip its 4th attack when I use Ayaka, but please do share in the comments if you observe this with any other team comps as well.
Benny's adventure team, assemble!
One team comp that I enjoyed a lot and actually got me my fastest clear is this Yelan Taser team. The main idea with this team is just to load up our team with 3 of the strongest off-field single target damage dealers in the game and enable them with an Admiral driver such as Sucrose. The key thing that makes this team so effective against this boss again goes back to how high its base resistances are. Taser teams do a good job of maintaining the Hydro-Electro double aura on the enemy thanks to how Electro Charge works.
Let's go find some
which makes
treasure.
it easy for us to trigger those double swirls and reduce both the Hydro and Electro res on this boss. Since the boss has such high base resistances, that res shred is just that much more valuable. One last team comp that can work pretty well here is a Hyper Carry Final team. As long as you take advantage of those 3 attack windows like we talked about earlier, the rotation timings line up really well for the boss's attack pattern, and you end up with a pretty smooth clear. The main drawback of this team is that it takes Bennett away from the first half, where you usually want that national team to be. This would only be possible if you had another way to really battery shopping or Hu-Tao team in that first half instead. This is a bit of a luxury option that won't be available to everyone. And that covers just about all of the team comps that I had the most success with. This boss is a very tough nut to crack, but hopefully these tips and team comp suggestions can help make the fight a little bit easier. The builds for all the characters I showed in this video will follow shortly, and as always, thank you so much for watching.
Getting this to level 20 would be nice. As long as it doesn't go to HP %, this will be great. It'll be great. Well, actually, crit damage won't be all that useful either. I'll lock that just because I feel like it might be useful someday. Sephiroth now has 800 EM, which should be very good. Alright, we'll get this to 20. Very lucky. Wow, what the hell? Fine, crit damage isn't all that bad. I don't actually have any crit rate on this build. Yeah, Taser, I was trying that out a while back. Now it's time to put it to practice. Yeah, Sakura, since she's the driver, is the only character that needs the EM. Alright. Why Yoimiya? This'll do. No healers. And I'm gonna have a really terrible time in the first. Okay. I don't think Raiden works. Okay, you know what? Yeah, for convenience, I will actually just keep using Hyper Boom. I think that's the most sane option I can pick. I use Mona so I can maintain my Hydra application. Yao for 2 Dendro as well as 4-piece Deep Wood. Yeah. I'm sticking to this after all.
Off we go.
Your coming was foretold.
You're toast!
For the eternal
Barbados,
oasis.
guide us.
Bloom as the flowers in Guraban.
Higher, higher, pants on fire!
Teamwork is dreamwork. Let's
Nice and spicy!
The eternal oasis at long last.
Go! Boba, get them!
everybody stand back. Huh?
Hey, stop!
Wind, hear me.
Cross over!
Shoot, I can't afford any more band.
Nice and spicy! Cool as fun! See?
Huh?
Eat this!
Could it break?
What the?
The curse.
Dang it. I got too impatient.
Your coming was foretold.
Boba, get them!
Off we go.
Your coming was foretold. For the eternal oasis.
I swear by my sword.
Bloom as the flowers in Guraban.
Time to go!
This girl needs to die first.
The eternal oasis at long last.
Everybody stand back.
Quit it! Cross over!
So I don't have to worry about overload. I say that, but Bennett makes it a problem anyway still.
Adventure time. Teamwork is dream.
Eat this! Nice and spicy!
Barbados, guide us.
Boba, get them!
Let's light it up. Yeah. I'm going in.
Higher, higher, pants on fire!
I swear by my sword. Get out of here.
Sharing my knowledge!
Care for a dance? Dance with me.
Shadows of fate.
The show's only just begun.
Go get him, you!
Fate is upon you. Out of my way.
This may prove new life lasts.
Bruh, what happened?
Off we go.
Your coming was
stand back.
foretold.
Eat this! Out of the frying pan!
Barbados, guide us.
Bloom as the flowers in Guraban.
Time to go.
The eternal oasis at long last.
Boba, get them!
Ow.
Chipsy! his dream. I swear by my sword. You're toast. Nice and spicy. See? Fire, pants on fire.
Let's light it up! Everybody stand back!
Quit it! Make yourselves at home.
Care for a dance?
Hey,
Dance with me!
written in the stars. Delved into destiny. Don't be scared.
Be a good audience, won't you?
I'll settle this. Grow. Get sick of this. Decided by destiny. Committed to memory. Sharing my knowledge. Hey, go away. Stay put.
Stand with me!
Grow. Everyone hold hands.
Delved into death belief written in the stars.
Dissipate.
Shadows of fate.
Make yourselves at home.
Lightning terrifying. Decided by destiny. Our bonded looking for a fight.
You play. You're up.
Delved into destiny.
This may hurt a little. I see everything.
Shall rise once again.
Stay put. Grow. Yeah.
The world
I don't like this song.
Get out of here! Out of the way! Adventure time! I'm going in! Barbados, guide us.
Eat this. I'm the fried pan.
Cross over!
Nice and spicy.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Burn.
3, 2, 1. Never mind,
Wind, hear me. I'm going in.
I'm the fried pan. Into the fire. Hey, go as flat. Fire, pants on fire. Nice and spicy.
Let's light it up. Teamwork is dreamwork.
Eat this. See? I'll remember that.
Oops. Ah, this team has some energy problems, it seems.
Barbatos, guide us. Time to go. I'm going in. Barely a scratch.
Out of the frying pan.
Go.
Nice and spicy.
Wind, hear me.
Teamwork is dreamwork. You're toast. See? Higher, higher, hands on fire. Boba, get them. Go as planned.
I swear by my sword.
Everybody stand back. Nice and spicy. Everyone hold hands. Sharing my knowledge.
Fate is upon you. Shadows of fate.
Uruguay, you're
Stand with me.
I'll settle this. Don't be scared.
Just dissipate.
Hey, make yourselves a home.
Written in the stars. Let me scry.
Ready, go! Uruguay, you're up.
Our bond is strong.
Everyone hold hands.
Dissipate.
Hey, sharing my knowledge.
Decided by destiny.
Stay put.
Stand with me.
Lightning, terrifying.
Leave my space stars.
Whoa, whoa. And if Cookie's hyper beams aren't strong enough. You know what? Maybe I will try Raiden.
Silly. Adventure time.
Your coming was foretold.
Going in.
Eat this!
Fairliest Barbados, guide us.
Time to go.
Teamwork is drip. That's gonna hurt in the morning.
Hey, yeah! Nice and spicy. See? Go! Go!
Get out of here. Yeah. Get out of here. Everybody stand back. Wind, hear me.
Go as flat at the frying pan into the pot. Cross over.
Get out of here. Teamwork is dream.
You're toast. Boba, get them. See? Higher, higher, pants on fire.
Everybody stand back.
Go as planned. At the frying pan.
Ow. Careful, dance.
Make yourself a
Dance
move.
with me.
Written in the stars. Delved into destiny. The show's only just begun. Now you shall perish. Not done yet.
Testing my patience.
Shadows of fate.
Gotcha.
The Temple of Wisdom. Decided by destiny. Stay put.
Well,
Shine down. Go get him, Uruguay.
Written in the stars.
I see everything.
Illusion shattered. Insolent.
Delve leave my space. Share my knowledge.
Torn to oblivion.
My vision is clouded. Uruguay, you're up. My reckoning. Let's go.
Your coming was foretold.
Go in it. I swear by my sword.
The eternal oasis.
Eat this! Time to go.
Teamwork is dream work. Huh? The eternal oasis at long last. Everybody stand back! Barbados, guide us. Let's light it up! Higher, higher, pants on fire! Go! Get out of here! Teamwork is dreamwork! Huh?
Eat this! Nice and spicy. Go as planned. Everyone's okay?
Care for a dance?
The Temple of
Dance with
Wisdom.
me!
Decided by destiny. Shadows of fate. Don't be scared.
Shine down! Inazuma shines eternal!
Not done yet. Let me scribe. Make yourselves a home. This way. You play.
Written in the stars!
Stay put. Hey, go away.
Delved into destiny!
I see everything. The Temple of Wisdom.
Fate is upon you!
The stars.
No, not again. I timed that perfectly.
Off we go!
Your coming was
Going
foretold.
in!
You're toast.
I swear by my sword! Barely a scratch!
See? Go.
Time to go! Teamwork is dreamwork! Huh? That's gonna hurt in the morning! Let's light it up!
Out of the frying pan.
Barbados, guide us!
Go as one.
I'm going in!
Hey, nice and spicy. Cross over. That really hurt. See? Higher, higher, pants on fire.
Everybody stand back! Why do they never miss? I swear by my sword!
Eat this. Boba, get them.
Let's light it up!
Everyone's
Care
okay.
for a dance?
Share your
Dance with
knowledge.
me! Written in the stars! Let me scribe!
The show's only
Illusion
just
shattered,
begun.
torn to oblivion.
Now you tested my patience.
Destiny
Why?
cannot be denied.
Alright, you know what? I'm gonna bring P2. Instead of Mona, since
Your coming was foretold.
This dream work. You're toast. Nice clap. Wait, hear me.
Bloom is the
Let's light it up. Time to go. Everybody stand back. See? Go as planned. I swear by my sword. I'm going in. Eat this. After fried pan, higher, higher, hands on fire. See? Go. Nice and spicy. Teamwork is dreamwork. Let's light it. Go. Time to go. At the frying pan.
Care for a dance?
The Temple of Wisdom.
Dance with me.
Let me weave you a verse.
Be a good
Don't be scared.
Inazuma shines eternal.
Now you tested my patience. Gotcha.
Know my sword. There is no escape.
I see everything. Share my knowledge.
Witness the power of Gugwa.
Yugling, you're up. Ready, go!
Illusion shattered. Now you shall perish. Shine down.
Everyone hold hands. The Temple of Wisdom.
Rain outlines your fate. Let me weave you a verse.
Stay put. I see everything.
Illusion shattered.
Grow, grow, grow.
Cool.
Adventure time. Barbados, guide us. I'm going in.
Go as one. Hey, yeah! Nice and spicy. Out of the frying pan.
Teamwork is dreamwork. Let's light it up.
Uh-oh.
Huh?
Dang it.
Cross
Too late
over.
now.
Eat this! Go as one!
Wind, hear me. Everybody stand back. Huh? Let's light it up. I cannot give up. I'm going in.
Uh-oh.
Is it my time?
Okay, that was terrible anyway.
Let's light it.
Bubba, get them! Go as one!
Everybody stand back.
Eat this!
I swear by my sword. I'm going in.
Out of the frying pan.
Time to go. Ow. Let's light it up. Wind, hear me. Teamwork is dreamwork.
You're toast! Go! Nice and spicy!
Why do they never? This is just my.
Bubba, get them! Go as one!
Barbados, guide. Everybody stand back.
Eat this! See?
Let's light it up. Teamwork is dreamwork. I swear by my sword.
You're toast! Cross over!
There we go, got the corner, bait him. This time.
Nice and spicy!
Never mind. Okay, I really don't know how the mega thinking works.
See? Quit it! Out of the frying pan!
I'm going in. Wind, hear me.
No.
Time to go.
Water!
Ah.
swear by my sword. Teamwork is dreamwork. Huh? You're toast. Let's light it up. Boba, get them. Cross over. Out of the frying pan, into the fire. Everybody stand back. Huh? Eat this. Go as planned. Huh? Wind, hear me. Boba, get them. Let's light it up.
No.
Adventure time.
Seriously, how does this guy?
Go as planned. Nice and spicy. I swear by my sword. Teamwork is dreamwork. Huh? At the frying pan. Boba, get them. Let's light it up.
Aha.
I'm going in! Barbados, guide us. You're toast! At the frying pan, it's...
Oh, that lasted long.
Higher, higher, pants on fire! Boba, get them! Go as planned! Huh? Wind, hear me. Teamwork is dreamwork. Hey, out of the frying pan. Cross over. Let's light it up. Nice and spicy. Out of the frying pan, into the pot. Everyone hold hands. Shine down. Don't be scared. I see everything. Yeah. Make yourselves a move. Illusion shattered. Go get him, Uruguay. Witness the power of Gugwa. Hey! There is no escape. Inazuma shines eternal.
As long as I don't fuck this up colossally, I'll be fine.
Everyone hold hands. Uruguay, you're up. Rain outlines your fate. Let me read you a verse. The Temple of Wisdom. Illusion shattered. Stay put. Ready, go! I see everything. Not good. Rain cutter. Torn to oblivion. Uruguay, you're up.
it to memory. Sharing my knowledge. Everyone hold hands. Don't be scared. Hey, go away. Yeah.
Oh, no, my sword. Let me weave you a verse. Huh?
Let's make her a little. The Temple of Wisdom. Uruguay, you're up.
Now you shall perish. Shine down. Ha! Everybody stand back!
Eat this. Goba, get them.
Barbados, guide us.
Fire, fire, pants on fire.
What the?
Huh?
Out of the frying pan, go as blood.
Let's light it up!
Go.
I'm going in! I swear by my sword!
Hey, yeah. Goba, get them. See? Cross over. Quit it.
Everybody stand back! Wind, hear me!
Eat this. Higher, higher, pants on fire. Go.
Huh?
Go.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Alright, that's good enough. I don't even need to 3-star this anymore.
Hey.
Adventure time! Everybody stand back!
You're toast. Out of the frying pan, into the fire.
I swear by my sword! Ha! Huh. Ta.
See? Cross over. Goba, get them.
Teamwork is dreamwork! Wind, hear me!
Eat this.
Time to go! Everybody stand back!
Nice and spicy. Go as blood. See? This isn't good. Cross over.
Barbados, guide us! I'm going in!
Hey, yeah.
Illusion shattered!
Stay put. I see everything.
Oh, of course we need different attack now.
Make yourselves a move.
Body and no, my sword!
No, I missed.
Shine down! Witness the power of Gugwa!
Don't be scared.
Rain outlines your fate! No, my sword!
Grow, grow, grow. Sharing my knowledge.
Frick, I can't hyper bloom. I freaked up my energy recharge bullshit.
Uruguay, you're up! Grow, grow, grow!
Rain outlines your fate. Know my sword. Rain cutter.
This may hurt a little. Make yourselves at home. Go get him, Uruguay! Don't be scared!
There is no escape.
Commit it to memory. Grow, grow, grow! Sharing my knowledge.
Let me weave you a verse. Inazuma shines eternal. Illusion shattered.
Ouchie! Everyone hold hands.
Huh? Rain outlines your fate.
Uruguay,
Shine down.
make yourselves at home.
I miscounted. That's actually already before.
Hey, go away!
Rain cutter. Illusion shattered.
This may hurt a little.
Know my sword. Time to act.
Stay put. Commit it to memory.
Rain outlines your fate.
Grow, grow, grow.
Witness the power of Guhua. Now you shall perish. Shine down.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Know my sword.
Uruguay, you're up. This may hurt a little.
Huh? There is no escape.
Commit it to memory. Don't be scared.
Body and mind. Let me weave you a verse.
Sharing my knowledge.
Shine down. Inazuma shines eternal.
This may hurt a little. Stay put.
Know my sword.
Oh my fucking god. Ah. Fucking way not. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that event.
his land. Yes, Link. Play around with your little arts and crafts. Nothing can save you now. Oh, Link. Are you building a little clubhouse to watch the destruction of Hyrule? How adorable.
Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl.
Very impressive, Link. You've made a monument to your defeat. Now, let's...
I can do it 5 times now. Ah.